this is a fun one. While I have your attention. This one's fantastic. I love it. There we go. All right. Welcome to episode number 72. It's our 72nd video of, well, our mEgo-like channel, which is available on YouTube, on my mEgo-like, and also in our mEgo-like Facebook group, which is growing in leaps and bounds. And happy to say so many great quality people in there posting so many things. And isn't it nice to go to a place where you can have an opposing view from somebody else, or different of opinion, and not get kicked out, banned, bashed, or dolly shamed, if you will? All right, so here's what we're going to do today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about mEgo, original mEgo, 1 million BC OMBC. These happen to be some of my favorite mEgos. I did not have them as a kid. I didn't know they existed until I started collecting 25 years ago, and actually found them at, believe it or not, the mEgo Museum when it was done by Scott Adams, before it was taken over by the current crew. That is whatever they're doing over there. But it was a lot more fun back then. There wasn't a whole lot of posting. Actually, there was no posting. It was a really good site with really great graphics and really great presentation, and a lot of information. Really enjoyed that. All right, if you're watching this on Facebook, I may not see your messages, so give me a second to bring up my phone to Facebook. It's also on a delay, so we got to check that out. Give me a moment while we check it out. All right, there it is. Okay. All right, we'll see what happens. See if I can actually get that out. Oh, so you have to turn that down because you're going to get feedback. All right, there we go, and we'll turn it down. Watching this really great program. I watch these crazy programs. I was watching that on Netflix, the William Shatner, The Unexplained, which is really cool. And now I'm watching, I think it's Pirates of Andak or something, someplace in Alaska. And they just found all this crazy golden song. Bryan Sanchez, you are so happy to see what's in the mail, but there's nothing in the mail today. There's nothing in the mail today, because today we're just going to look, Bryan. Look. I'm watching you, Bryan. That was creepy. We're going to look at some of the original mEgo 1 million BC figures. That's right. Like your VJ, I'm taking requests apparently. So, hold on a second. We should do our Coco the Clown. Oh, Bryan, you know I need the Coco the Clown music where he comes out. He takes off the nose. He takes out the cigarettes and smoking. But by request from Mr. Roger Gilpin. That is correct. Roger Gilpin, paging Roger Gilpin. Roger Gilpin asked to do a little review on the 1 million BC figures. Roger runs the We Are mEgo group, not the real We Are mEgo group, which actually isn't the real We Are mEgo group, because the original We Are mEgo group and the real one was actually done by Roger Gilpin initially years ago, and then somebody didn't like the fact that they weren't included in it, and it wasn't anybody at mEgo. It was somebody that thinks they work for mEgo but doesn't, or told everybody he works for mEgo and he doesn't. But we all work for mEgo, remember? Sanchez came back. Sanchez, remember? But we all really work for mEgo, don't we? Crazy shit. Anyway, so so Roger has the first We Are mEgo group, which is quite successful. He has well over 1,000 members in it. I think he has over 1,100 members, if I'm correct. It's a great group. They don't just post mEgo stuff. They post FTC and they post other stuff as well. And they actually welcome your commentary. That's right. Welcome your commentary. Even if it's not what they think they want you to say, it's still welcome. That's why we like We Are mEgo. We like other groups too. We just don't like when other groups shut people down when they have opposing opinions. It's kind of lame. Do I need the wrap it up button? Yes, you will need the wrap it up button, Bryan Sanchez. We need that. I agree with you. I think these are some of the coolest figures. We'll go into them a little detail. I only have one carded. He happens to be the only child figure, but we're going to go through it. I used to have the dinosaurs. As a matter of fact, for those of you who wonder where Dinosaur Dan Samillo got his name, you're probably going to say, oh, Dinosaur Dan had all the mEgo dinosaurs. Well, he did, but that's not where Dinosaur Dan actually got his name. Dinosaur Dan Samillo got his name because Dinosaur Dan, 20-some years ago, sold me the Dimetrodon, and the woolly rhino that's on the back here. It's on the back. So they made 3 dinosaurs. Actually, they actually made 1 dinosaur. The other 2 are not actually dinosaurs. That's right. If you know your archaeology, you will know that I'm telling the truth. That is correct. I was a student of archaeology for a long time, since I was about 3 or 4 years old. So it was the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was the Dimetrodon. It was actually not really a dinosaur. It was actually a spiny lizard, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, the woolly rhinoceros, which they weren't dinosaurs. They were mammals, right? But the one thing interesting about these figures, if you've never seen them, and I only have pictures, I wish I could show you some real ones. They've gone quite up, is that all the heads come off, and then the head is this long threaded screw with a bolt on it, and that's basically the weight. And then the head is kind of sits on these little pins, so it can kind of rock a little bit. It's almost like a bobblehead. It's a neat figure. But what's also cool is on the side of each of these, there's a here. This one looks like it's on the other side of the dinosaur. There's a flat, so they take the texture away and it's just flat, and there's metal in there. Because what happens with these really cool figures, and I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to show you, I forget what his name is, this one's, I always get these guys mixed up. So this is, right, this is Orm. So Orm is the dark, hairy, bushy dude. He looks like maybe he's from like, I don't know where he's from. Maybe he's from Spain. Maybe he's from, I don't know, Argentina. I don't really know. He's the dark one, but these figures actually, they're type 2, but they're special type 2. So they have the type 2 legs. This one's on the stand, sorry. They got the type 2 legs. They had these furry boots. They're pretty much all the same furry boots. They had a furry loincloth, if you will, made out of real fur. The legs were type 2. I'm going to give you a little crotch shot. There were bands. There were bands into the legs. Let me see if I can give a better shot there. Sorry. Okay, yeah, woo! There's bands in the legs to hold the legs in. The arms are a little different, though. This body actually happened. They did come with this, this bear claw necklace. Sorry, I'm going all over the place. Which actually was the same one that came with the Cochise figure. And I believe also the Sitting Bull figure. But if you look on the back, there was a lever. Right, you have this lever. It's a pretty pronounced lever. And it moved their right arm. So the left arm was just a regular type 2 arm. They did not come in type 1. They're all type 2. But if you take a look at this one, that is a special hand. You see that? It's got a birthmark. That's actually a magnet. And what you would get, I don't know if it's even this set. I have to look. I can't really show it to you because I guess it's buried back there. But it was maybe about 1.5 inches long. It was a square foam piece with a little tiny magnet. You would put on his hand, and you could get him to throw. You could bring his arm up. I don't want to fuck with him now because he's old. But you could put it on, and you could actually flip this lever. He would throw the magnetic spear, which in turn was to hit one of the dinosaurs, the woolly rhinoceros, the dinosaur, or so on. Now, as you people know, for those of you who paid attention when you were younger and aren't dumb, you know that there were no human beings during the time of actual dinosaurs. There was no humans running around when there were dinosaurs. It was a long while before the humans came along. Should we do a ancient history class, real ancient history? So there were no humans around. That's only in movies like 1 Million BC, the movie, and some others. They're actually really good films. But it's fun to imagine that you've got these guys running around with dinosaurs, hunting them down. I mean, the reality, if you ever really were to take a life-size T-Rex, you could actually go to, I think it's Secaucus, New Jersey. I don't know if it's still there, but they had a dinosaur park. They were animatronics, almost life-size. Some of them were life-size, I think, but you could see a T-Rex, and let me tell you, if that thing were real, none of you would ever be able to go to work without wearing a diaper because you'd be shitting your pants all day long. Thing's scary, really scary. But anyway, so they didn't have them running along. So anyway, so the 1 Million BC line came out, and what was really cool that was never produced, but you could see this, I guess it's a prototype, if you will, was this treehouse. I mean, come on. Badass. Now, let's also go a little bit further and say that tree houses were not where cavemen lived. Cavemen typically lived in caves. You see that? Cavemen lived in caves. Otherwise, they would be treehouse people living in tree houses. Okay, so cavemen, caves, treehouse people like Swiss Family Robinson, tree houses. But it's kind of cool that they would have had a place for it. It's a shame they never made it. Now, remember, Back in the day, the cavemen used to make bear claw necklaces. That's right, bear claws. No, I'm just saying. Just some of the stuff they did. But I love the figure. He's got they're all unique. And I mean, the sculpts are unique. You could tell, does he have? No, he has brown eyes. The face is actually good. I don't know who sculpted these, and they do have rooted hair. Now, I've never seen anybody cut the hair off this guy. I think if you cut it off, you might be able to make a Mr. T out of him, to be honest with you, or something like that. But they are very, very cool figures. He's complete except for his spear, if you will. His very, very thick head of hair here and a beard. What am I missing? Chatting publicly as Max Overnighter. Wow, now you know. That's right, Bryan Sanchez. Now you know. See, Bryan Sanchez thought that cave people lived in a tree house and that this is an actual photo from, what, Brian, would you say like 5,000 years ago? 6,000 years ago? That's what he thought, 10,000 years ago. But he's now learned that cave people live in caves, not in tree houses. Okay. Here's a little shot up here of the whole little family, if you will. And they've got them listed up top. Well, first of all, let's talk about them. Collect all of these fully posable figures, complete with throwing action. No other mEgo figure that I know of in the 8-inch American side had throwing action. Maybe there was a European one. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe some of you could name them. Can anybody name them? Why are you going to name them? I'm going to tell you. Make sure you get your ass to Star Pod Log and sign up. Okay, thank you. That's a little post there. But yeah, so they came with these throwing action. There was Orm, who I said he's kind of this very hairy dude. I'm surprised he doesn't have a hairy back. He probably should have had a hairy back. We also had, hold on, I gotta make sure I got these right. This is Grok. Grok is like Grok is the angry child in the family. So I don't think he likes his haircut, number one, but he's got lighter brown hair. He's got this really pissed off face. Either that or he's like really high on something. I don't know. But Grok, same thing. He's got the throwing action. He's got his little felt thing. And I don't think all of these, when I look, the boots are all the same. It's a little funny because the boots kind of got like a little rib up top here, ribbed for their pleasure, if you will. But the actual, the fur skirt is a little different on each one. But again, the throwing action. But he's the angry one. So where he looks probably stoned. Sorry, this is not for children. He's stoned. He's pissed off, or I don't know, what is he on, crank or something like that? And that's Grok. Now let's go to Trag. All right, let's take a look at Trag. Trag, if you would have pulled Trag's hair out of his face, I think they could have made him into like a Trek red shirt or something. Right? Again, with the rooted hair. Again, with the thing on his back and so on. But Trag looks like, he kind of looks to me like somebody farted and he's just kind of getting a whiff and thinking like, who cut the cheese? I don't know. It could be wrong. But these aren't actually brothers. These are actually cousins. I've come to learn, yes. They're actually the three cousins. I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see them. We haven't seen them all yet, but here they are in their glory. Orm, Grok, and Trag. These used to be some of the cheapest mEgos you could find. You used to be able to get them for nothing. Nobody wanted them. And as like everything else, they've gone through the roof. Does anybody here besides me collect the OMBC figures? I'm not done with them yet. There's more, but does anybody collect them? Anyone? I can see Marcus is here. Hello, Marcus. I can see you posting on there. I don't see you here, but I do see you on my phone and Facebook. There we go. Tony May's here. You thought because he was that old? Roger Gilpin is here. Hello, Roger. Roger, this one's for you. So does anybody else collect these things besides me? Used to be is the key word. That's very good. He's an angry elf. He is an angry elf, Bryan Sanchez. I agree with you. I like the hairy dude. I can relate. They should have done, you know what would have been really cool? Or maybe somebody could make a custom. They could do one of these in a white-haired version and paint his beard white. Then he could be like the old wise caveman. All right, let's go on to the only female cave person that was made. And I got to be honest with you, she's pretty much a catastrophe. This to me in kind of the mEgo fashion. This figure still can't find well, I know why they did it. I think I know why they did it, but I got to tell you, this one, the shit is weak. So this is Mata, and she's the female, and it's actually a Ma Walton figure. Can you see her? She's happy. She's happy. She's got her big, complete uh, fur outfit here. She's got this flock of hair. She's really weak. I don't like her as the cave woman. They probably did not. I'm guessing that mEgo didn't do a ton of sales with the Waltons. I'm not saying people didn't buy them, because the Waltons, for what it was very big in its time. I remember kind of watching as a kid, never really following it. But she actually, this is the Ma Walton figure. They probably had some extras. Say, why would we sculpt a new one? We'll just throw some hair on there and do whatever we have to do. So, she's okay. So we got a little family. We've got Mata, we've got Orm, Grock, and Trag, and as I showed you before, of course, we have Zahn. Zahn is one of the most pain in the asses to get. Usually I find him loose and missing parts, or he's fully carded, and he may be missing his spear, because I forgot this one's a little cracked on the bottom, and it may have slipped. Oh, no, it's in there. Let's see if you can see it. Can you see it between his legs? Did I just say that? Look between his legs, and you will see his spear. It's It's that gray thing right there. He's got a gray spear. I know it's a little hard to see because it's foam, but he's one of the hardest ones to get. Again, he comes with a necklace. He's the only one that doesn't have a solid brown outfit. He's got this kind of calico cat outfit. Okay, fair enough. You can see he's got the mEgo label popping up in the front. There's each one had a booklet inside. You can kind of see it. There's a yellow booklet which showed you how to use the throwing action. Very reminds me a lot of and it's folded in half. Reminds me a lot of how the Fighting Furies had theirs at their action. Now, these are, I don't know if I can see a date on these. I forgot the date these came out. These came out. Manufactured exclusively for mEgo, Core, New York, New York, by the British colony of Hong Kong. So obviously it's in the 70s, because for those of you who are really smart, you would know and I don't even think this is up. I should have probably brought that down. For those of you who are up in that, is that Hong Kong was turned back over to China after it was like 100 years the British had them, and then they went back. Okay, and that was in I can't remember what it was. I forgot. Anyway, if it says made in Hong Kong, you could probably date it back to the 70s or earlier, say the least. But the dinosaurs here are very, very cool. They're very expensive. They're hard to get. Like I said, that's why Dinosaur Dan Samillo is called Dinosaur Dan, because he sold me them, and I said, wow, that's Dinosaur. Oh, holy shit, I forgot about this. So these quote-unquote dinosaurs, of which one is only truly a dinosaur, one is a lizard, a giant lizard, and one is a mammal, but they have the roaring dino sound. So they have this little plastic wheel with teeth on it, and as you do the wheel, it clicks against probably something metal inside or plastic, and it makes a roaring sound, but they all sound the same. Again, I don't know like how kids really play with them, because the heads literally just come out. It's just kind of this bolt. The bolt's it's probably about that long right there, and it just on the back of the head, the bottom of the Tyrannosaurus Rex head's there, the rhinoceros, the woolly rhino, and the Dimetrodon or the sailback dinosaur. It's there, and it's just weight, and it just holds them there. So it's a little interesting. But yeah, this happens to be one of my favorites. So I love the OMBC figures. Did anybody answer whether they collect them or not? Because I may have missed it. I'm trying to watch two chats at once. Let me see. I love how Sanchez says, now I know. It's so funny. Going back to, Sanchez was here. Going back to YouTube. Roger Gilpin was in the Facebook. Lou used to practice archaeological digs in collage or college. The only thing they found was a chest of Coke, and that's how Lou was able to afford all these collectibles. It's funny, Ryan, because I'm watching that was it Pirate Gold of Attic or something, some island, Alaska, where a pirate actually went out and hid 3,000 pounds of gold. It's valued at $365 million. They found a little bit in World War II when the army went there to build a base to fight the Japanese. Guy was digging a trench, and he found an old can of gold coins. And then another guy on the Navy side, on the other side of the island there, he was digging a canal, and he also found one, but they're supposed to be like milk, those giant milk containers, like you see in an antique store, full of them. All right. All right, let me go through what's gotten on here. Let me close this. Used to be the keys. I like the hairy dude. They reworked it for. Okay, so there we go. Buck right there, Darth Silicone or JS Starbuck. So they reworked it for Fonzie. You must mean the arm throwing action was reworked for Fonzie to do the thumbs up. Very, very good. I like that. I like that kind of stuff. I love Sanchez. Wow, now I know. It's okay. It's okay, Brian. You should have spelled it. Sorry, I misspelled collage again. You should have done that. That was actually funny. A square magnet. Sorry, my tongue isn't that far up the ass of mEgo corpse. Do I need this? This is very good. You're terrible. I really don't do any drugs. I really don't. I know you might find that hard to believe, but I never have. Which probably makes me so nerdy. Okay. So Pablo Escobar. That's too crazy. Is MC Fish here? Has anybody seen MC Fish? I haven't seen that guy show up in a while. MC Fish cracks me up. I think he's a kid. Yeah, I think somebody got his mom pregnant or something. I heard. I don't know. This is so funny. This is Bryan Sanchez. Oh boy, what's on the mail? I don't know what's on the mail. I don't know, but I wish MC Fish was here. All right, so here we go. All right, so there we go. So there you have the mEgo OMBC figures. That's it. Let me give a last little look for you guys. We're going to do, again, this is for my good friend Roger Gilpin at We Are mEgo. If you're not a member, let's put that up. If you're not a member of, hold on, I'll put this up because Roger, go. All right, where is it? Here we go. So Roger Gilpin's group on Facebook is We Are mEgo, not the real We Are mEgo. That is not the real group. That is somebody who got upset because Roger Gilpin beat him to the name We Are mEgo and then ran off and started a new one going, hey, man, this is the real one. Okay, what are we, 3 years old? Get your own name. Stop stealing people's material. The We Are mEgo Facebook group with Roger Gilpin is a fantastic group. They do all kinds of stuff, including FTC, and it's open. You can post. You don't have to worry about getting kicked out. Dr. Durant is watching Vincent Price porn. I absolutely agree with you, Bryan Sanchez, that Dr. Durant is watching Vincent Price porn. Oh, Max Overnighter says he thinks MC Fish is some kid also. Well, somebody told me they were showing me posts from him that MC Fish was saying he thought somebody on the mEgo Lounge got his mom pregnant. I don't know if that's true. I don't know the story behind that. I don't know. And M. Sarek is here. That's right. M. Sarek is here. Is Dr. Durant in the house? Dr. Durant is, yes, as Bryan Sanchez said, watching Vincent Price porn. This is the really real mEgo like. That is true, Buck. That is absolutely true. A whole a whole different pit in the pendulum. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let me finish this video before it gets out of control. All right, here we go. Oh, my God. All right. So we have Grok, the angry caveman. Hey, man, who took a dump in my Jello? We have Orm. Orm's a little stone. Hey, man. This guy's like crazy. And then we have Trag is like, get a look at this guy. Hey, man, who farted? Damn, was that broccoli? Of course, I don't think that's 2 fart jokes. I did 2 videos, and I haven't done them in the other 70 videos. Then we have what I consider the weakest of the OMBC, and my least favorable is the Mata figure. But I collected her anyway. I mean, she's okay. She's got this one-piece suit, if you will, but it is the Ma Walton figure. It's just, I guess, rooted hair. I don't remember if the Ma Walton was rooted or not. And then, of course, Zahn. Zahn. That's right. He's not their son. He's their son. And unfortunately, the unproduced Treehouse, the dinosaurs I do not have to show you. If I ever get them, I'll be happy to show them to you guys. They're really, really cool. But I do like, they did give them some good names. So Orm, Grok, Zahn, Mata, Trag. They're actually all one-syllable names. So for those cavemen, Orm, Grok, Zahn, Trag, except for Mata. So Mata, like I said, she's the weakest. She's got 2 syllables. This must have been the Cro-Magnon period when they could actually get beyond 1 syllable, perhaps. I think so. This might have been Homo erectus. All right. Not Homo australopithecus, who only could do one. He could only do one thing. But again, remember, there were no, ladies and gentlemen, and children that are watching, there were no people when there were dinosaurs. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was a dinosaur. The woolly rhinoceros was not. They came many, many, many years later after the dinosaurs died. First, the dinosaurs died. Then they turned in the oil. And then the Arabs came. Thank you, Johnny. So, yeah, there were no people during then. But that's okay. It's fun to imagine, to play, and to pretend. All right, Memstar Collector, which Jack Skelly customers you have? Hollywood Peter for He's fucking. I love these. Here comes the side thing. So you ready? So watch this. Watch. I'll show you something. Wait, hold on. No, I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna put I was gonna put Dr. Duran on timeout. All right. History with Captain Lou. That's correct. I was a history major and a archaeological dinosaur crazy loving fool when I was a kid. I always wanted to do a dinosaur dig. Tell that to the Neanderthal that was eaten by an alligator. Absolutely correct. Alligators and crocodiles and sharks. Well, crocodiles and sharks mostly are, and there are some fish. They're two of the most. Here we go. They're some of the most primitive animals there are that haven't. They've evolved, but not as much as some other animals. And dinosaurs actually carried more qualities of birds than they did of. Well, not all of them, but some of the ones that you think would be more lizard-like were actually more qualities for birds. That is correct. We could go into this all day long. I will tell you a true story. When I was in 5th or 6th grade, I read a book, To Catch a Living Fossil. And so that would be in the 80s, 70s, 80s. And it was a story how in Africa they dropped this long net into the sea and they caught this fish nobody had ever seen before. Well, it was in Africa in the 1930s. Remember, there was no refrigerators back then and everything was very primitive. So they took this fish to this scientist and he identified that this particular fish was a bony fish or a plated fish, which prehistoric fish weren't like. They didn't have scales like today. They actually were bony or plated. They were kind of armored, if you will. Some of them, not all of them. Anyway, this fish, they wound up trying to do a study of it, but it was too hot. Africa was very hot. They didn't have refrigeration. It went to the taxidermist. It's in the British Museum of Natural History today. It's called a coelacanth. And it's not with an S. It's with a, I'm not even going into that. We got to go to the language thing. Anyway, they caught another one. And they said, wow, this is interesting because this style of fish should have died off like, I forget, what was it, like 10 or 30,000 years. Anyway, thousands of years ago, this fish was supposed to have been extinct. Well, you can go on, actually, let's go do it just to show everybody because they actually have people who have been, they have actually been to places and you can see this fish. I'll show you the picture of what it looks like first. I'll show you the prehistoric one. Okay, we'll do this. They actually can show you, let's bring this up. I will share my screen with you crazies. Here we go. I'll share it. I will turn it on so you guys can see it. Okay. So this big fish you see here, this is obviously a dead one. That's whatchamacallit, been stuffed. But these other ones that you're actually checking out, this is a living version. This is a living version. You can actually watch videos. You can go on Google and you can actually watch videos of these fish. These are live. These are photos of them live. I'm sorry, coelacanth. You can actually see videos of them swimming in the ocean. Fish that they thought were extinct thousands of years ago. Now think about that. Just think about that. That's pretty, I know we're talking about toys here, but that's a pretty significant thing. Matter of fact, the woolly mammoth, which they said was extinct 10,000 years ago, they found frozen on these deserted islands in these frozen sections that were less than 6,000 years old, preserved perfectly. They found them, they used to find them in Siberia and Russia, and Siberia is a lot, where they were preserved perfectly in the 1800s. And they were thousands, almost 10,000 years old, they said. So the reason they didn't have all the good specimens is because they'd be out in this frozen tundra and nobody really knew what they were. And they said they would let their dogs eat them because it was, believe it or not, it was frozen meat and it was preserved for all those years. So there's your little history lesson for the day. Next week, we'll talk about geometric shapes and algebra. All right, what am I thinking? I think you saw a picture of a dino, and that was it. Africa. No, Sanchez, I do say. I'm not. I beat you to the bird thing. Damn delay. There we go. I love these side. I love this side conversation. So M. Sarek, they're in Kavor. This is like the History Channel, but with toys. It is. We will be doing a history of Santa Claus. I'll have a special guest. You may know him. His name begins with an M. His last name begins with an O. We're going to talk about the history of Santa Claus. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So anyway, so there's a little tidbit for you, something you probably don't know, and you really don't give a shit about either, and I can't believe you. And Russia, there's you go. There's right there, Buck. And Russia, when the assholes ate mammoth steaks. That's correct. They were so perfectly frozen. The cold preserved everything. Everything. They didn't deteriorate at all. The fur, everything. It's absolutely with just from the cold. It's absolutely amazing. Maximus will be our Santa guest. Okay, they are full of BS. These are not millions of years. What are millions of years old? What is it? What's not millions of years old, David? What's not millions of years old? Mammoths? Mammoths are 1,000. They're about 10,000. They supposedly went extinct 10,000 years ago, but they found them. They dated them only 6,000 years ago. Woolly mammoth, big elephant, a lot of hair. They had a woolly rhinoceros, all kinds of shit. You guys must have been into dinosaurs when you were a kid. I mean, if you were a 70s kid, maybe even an 80s kid. Let's see. Here we go. There were people. Oh, Roger Gilpin said there were people with the dinosaurs, the Flintstones. And Marcus, as I did thank you, Johnny. And Leo, it's getting larger. You guys are putting all these comments on Facebook. I'm trying to read. Too funny. No, the coelacanth is not millions of years old. It's tens of thousands of years old. But they still live, and they didn't know they were alive, which tells us a few things. One, as they know, we actually know more about space and the moon than we do about the ocean. And if you ever watch any of that stuff, it's pretty fucking scary, some of the shit when they send down those robots that can go where people cannot go to see some of the creatures down there. Woof. Crazy. I actually saw this thing where these divers went kind of deep, scuba divers, and they had these squids. They weren't giant squids. They were very large squids. They were about 3 feet, from the cone. And then they had, very long tentacles. So I don't know how long they were, but they were, I forget what they call them, but these squids, kind of like that G.I. Joe and shit, they would change color. So they had their lights on, their flashlights on, because it's pitch black down there. I don't know if they went at night, but the depths were so deep. And they're looking at them, and the squids are just changing colors, and they're kind of observing them, and they're kind of like, he's like, hey, we're interacting, but they weren't doing anything. So the guy says, let's see what happens when we turn out the light. They turn out the lights. I swear to God, this was like one of those Jacques Cousteau shows. They turn out the lights. They got attacked. The squids latched onto them. They start swimming. You can't like go super fast when you're scuba diving because you get, what do you call that? The bends. They start swimming to the top. And as they're going up, the squids, one guy had his weight belt was ripped off his weight. I mean, this fucking strong man pulled his weight belt off, was pulling his mask off. Oh, all kinds of shit, man. It was crazy. I was like, damn, that was some scary shit. All right, a little oceanography today. A little oceanography in addition to a little dinosaur history, if you want. That's right. The flood was a worldwide event and very fast, and many animals were frozen instantly. They have found woolly mammoths frozen. That is correct, David Alexander. They have found them frozen standing up. As a matter of fact, at one point, we believed that Canada, Russia, and the U.S. were all interconnected, and that people would actually walk across. How about that? The frozen tundra. You just remember the stone dino. You guys are funny. You guys, Hitler used one in World War II to invade Poland. Sanchez, is this a woolly mammoth you're talking about? Is this true? He used. Oh my God, that's too funny. That's too funny. Oh my God. Or was it Korg? Are you saying the Germans had woolly mammoths as secret weapons? You guys are crazy shit. All right. When did a mammoth fight a squid? Was that on Mutual Vama? No mammoth fought a squid. It was 2 divers got attacked by squids when they turned off the lights in the very deepest part of the ocean. Squids didn't do anything. As soon as they turned off the lights, they got fucking, man. And the thing about a squid, unlike an octopus, is that even though it has the tentacles. Squids are actually, they can be very aggressive. Really aggressive, but they have that beak inside, man, and that thing is nasty. That's nasty. Plus, sedimentary rock was created by the flood, fast-moving waters. I thought sedimentary rock was created by Leonard Skinner, but that's okay. No problem. All right, this is way out of control. All right, guys, so I'm going to end this here because this has been a lot of fun, and this is quite a discussion. Please feel free to take it up in the room. Let's talk dinosaurs. Let's talk OMBC, but this one is a special request by my good friend Roger Gilpin, who runs again. Let me put it up again because it came off. Facebook group We Are mEgo. If you have not joined We Are mEgo, it's We Are mEgo. Do not confuse it with the real We Are mEgo. That is not the real We Are mEgo. That was after. That is the concoction of someone who was upset that Roger beat him to it. That's all there is to it. And there we go. All right, so if you want your spear throwing action with a magnet, get yourself some OMBC figures. Again, going through the roof. Can't believe how much there are. How was Schoolhouse Rock formed? That's an excellent question, Max. That's an excellent question. Schoolhouse Rock. I think it was by Jack Black in the School of Rock, because everybody's in the band, right? Everybody's in the band. Yeah, I think that was good. That was a funny movie. School of Rock. I don't like Jack Black that much. I don't think he's that funny, but School of Rock was fucking hilarious. That was just fucking hilarious. Oh, oh, Jesus Sanchez. Woo! Bryan Sanchez comes in. It's like this was like Mortal Kombat, and they're fighting, and then Bryan Sanchez comes in with his comment. It's like, finish him. Cuts the fucking head off. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very fantastic. Well, anyway, we got to end here because I got some other stuff I have to do. We have a little project we're working on for our friends over at Starpod Log and Starpod Trek. We're doing another little audio, which will be coming out soon. I'm not exactly when. Naren and Kavora will let us know when it's coming out. We'll make sure we get it posted. We want you guys to get the audio podcast first, so you listen in, and then later we'll show you the the video that we extracted the audio from. Some of it's just regular video, and some of it's ridiculous antics going on, if you will. Yeah, it's like the Three Stooges, if you will. All right. Buy that Trek shirt yet, Lou? Oh, excellent question, Buck. I'm glad you asked that. So Buck asked me if I bought that Trek shirt. Yes. I'm having a hard time deciding whether I want to get the one that the girl on the mEgo Lounge is wearing, or I'm just going to get a regular Captain Kirk one. That's all. Yeah, I know. You know, listen. So Brian puts up this part. We're going to get a little serious. So Bryan Sanchez, he's a very funny guy. Brian's really funny. And, you know, his whole thing with his blow was, hey, they called mEgo like a hate group. And they, meaning some of the, let's say, the more boisterous voices over in one of the other groups. You guys can probably guess who it is. Okay, whatever. That's fine. And I said, well, it's not really a hate group because we allow people to express their opinions, and they don't like that very much. They don't like that. And they don't like the fact that people get pissed there and then come here. But listen, we welcome everyone. Anybody can come in, even El Capitan himself. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Any of them are allowed to come in. We don't care. You're allowed to come in. And the funny thing for a hate group, we're really growing fast. I think like a week or two ago, I mean, for small, you guys, it really started like 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. And it was just like a kind of thing of us getting together and a little people here, a little people there. We don't really advertise it. Some of you guys do, I guess, but we don't really advertise it. And it was like, I don't know, it was like 520 people last week or something, or 512, and we're up to like 577, which is kind of cool. No, and we're not selling anything in it, you know. So just to say, so other groups that are bigger, that have been around longer, or producing a product that people are buying and interested in, well, of course your group's going to grow because people are going to come in there and they're going to want to buy your product. We're not selling anything. We're just giving the truth, or what we think to be the truth, or what we perceive to be the truth, right? Because everybody's position is different. So that's what we like. We like you guys to be able to, you know, voice your opinions, talk about your cool, you know, your cool collections or whatever you got, and we're really happy for that. So thank all you guys for being in there and being good sports about everything. Some of the jokes might not be to everybody's liking, but we appreciate you guys being in there. We really do. All right. All that being said, I have another appointment to keep. So, hold on. Hey, Lou, when you're going to dress like a Picard? Was that a Picard she was dressed like? It's a we don't fucking like you. Jesus. Woof. I need my Kevlar. It's a rough room tonight. I want a Battlestar Galactica podcast. Well, well, that's probably possible. Did you check, David, to see if Starpod Log had a Battlestar Galactica podcast? They probably have done one. They've done tons. They have tons, and they have a very good following in that room. TikTok. Yes, we're at 9:52. All right, let me jump off this because I keep saying that. It's always fun to talk with you. What was that? A ghost up there? That just saw some fucking thing above my head. There it is again. Can you see it up there? Wait, let's see if I can get it. You see it up there? See it? There it is. What the hell? Was that a ghost? Any ghost chasers in here? That looked like a ghost to me. There it is. Somebody coming in my window? I have no idea. All right, anyway. Is there any ghost shit going on? All right, anyway. All right, let's get off this thing. Let's say goodnight. Thank you, guys. This is video. What the hell video? Oh, I'm sorry. This is video. That's actually wrong. It says video number 2. We're actually on video 72. Holy guacamole. Video 72. How do you like that? Fantastic. All right. Please check out Roger Gilpin's We Are mEgo group. Please check out Dr. Durant's Sanctum from Rich Hurley. Please check out Johnny's MIB Master Toy Museum. Please check out David Eon's Open by Chance. I almost forgot that. And everybody else that's in there. You want your shit? Don't post it, mEgo like. That's what it's all about. I probably do have a Ghost Sanchez. I was thinking with Johnny, we were talking to him on video, and everybody's like, Johnny, what's that behind you? Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. That was hilarious. It probably is, yes. All right, guys, we're out. Thank you for watching.